Hello everyone, this is me, Mike, and today we're going to be assembling the power supply unit for our 3D printer. This is the unit that actually came with the Kossel from FLSUN, or whatever you want to pronounce it. That came with the box, it came with the cable. That has the two prongs on the one end and then the two strip wires on the other end. And if you go by the manual, this is how you assemble it. The color order doesn't really matter on the leftmost two pins, the pin 1 and 2, as it is an AC current input, AC for alternating current, so the colors doesn't really match. It would be to code or not to code, but it doesn't really matter. You can't really break anything by messing up the colors or the order of colors. As I said, AC current, it doesn't really matter. The colors do matter on the DC current side because there's two nuts here for the common wires, and then we have two for the voltage carrying wires. This is actually the ground nut, so you want to make sure that on your nuts that carry the voltage, you want to make sure that your red is on the right side and black goes to the common wire. If you want to stick with the cable that came with your printer, you can just go ahead and wire these together. But what I did actually is I got myself a old 3-prong cable that actually has the ground on it, and I cut off the end of it and stripped it. So they now have a black, a green, and a white cable. And the order we're going to wire this up is that it's going to be 2 code. So we're going to do the black on the nut number 1, we do the white on the nut number 2 for the AC current, and then we do green as our ground on the 3rd nut. And I'm going to be installing that real quick. It's actually fairly easy. You just flip this thing open, you use your screwdriver to loosen all 3 screws so that they come up, and you can push these wires under. And if you want to do this correctly, again, the order doesn't really matter for AC current, whether you do white, black, or black, white, as long as you stick with the first 2 nuts. To code, it would be black, and then white, and then green. So this is really hard to see for you guys. I'll just push these, the stripped off part from the wire under the clamp, and then just screw it tight with the screwdriver. And you want to do these one by one because it's fairly complicated to have them both or all 3 sit under there until you can actually clamp down on them. Make sure you got the stripped off part of the wire, and don't clamp down on the plastic part of it too much, because that doesn't give you any contact. This is number 2. And then we are connecting our ground wire over here. And this is a fairly simple upgrade because the ground nut is already on this power supply unit. And it's kind of like, it would be totally wasted if you just use the 2-prong cable. Like your PSU has a ground nut, so why not use it? And then this is securely attached now, and we can flip this back closed. And that's it. In case you're wondering, the model number of this power supply unit is S-200-12. And it has a 110 or 220 volts input and a 12 volts output at 16 amps. It switches between 110 and 220 volts by this little switch that is inside behind this cover. There's actually a sticker on top of here that reminds you to make sure to switch it to whatever your operating current is. Here in the US we use 110 volts. So you either want to remove this cover. There's a couple of screws like this one that you have to loosen in order to get to it, or you use a little sharp pointy thing to stick through the cover and just flip the switch. It's a regular switch that you can just flip left or right. So make sure you got yours set to 110 volts, and then make sure you use a 3-prong cable like this one, and just cut off the other end, whatever it was attached to. Obviously you don't reuse that anymore, and then you're having the actual ground wire correctly and to code with black, white, and green, so that you're making use of a ground connection that's actually there. So that's my little tip for you. Please leave a comment down below if you have any more tips for connecting your power supply unit or any similar experience, and also give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful. I'm going to continue and assemble my printer. As you can see, I'm pretty far along. I'll just need a connection for the bed, and then for the main board and the screen, and then I should be ready to print. Follow this channel if you want to see more videos of me assembling 3D printing stuff and actually doing some 3D prints. And until next time.